Well, with about 8,000 hours plus of work out of them, I don't think these old Michelins are done too bad at all. I don't think anyone can complain about that. Right, muckers. Well, last week, if you remember, we changed the front wheels over on the John Deere 3350. Now we've got to change over the front tyres, and that's what we're off to do right now, because it was on originally 12.4 28s and then it went on to 13.6 24s, but it could have gone on to, I'm not going to do it, don't worry. So yeah, we're going to swap the front tyres over today to put the 13.6s on, and while we're doing it, I'll get Dan to go through what he's doing and why he's doing it as he's removing the tyres and, you know, putting the other ones back on, because, you know, it's a bit different doing something that's larger, and obviously the bigger they are, the more difficult they can be. It's not like a bicycle tyre or, you know, even a car tyre. So I'll get him to explain that, muckers, as he does it. Now, my VW Amarok pickup is currently off the road because the centre bearing shit its guts, and it's not much of a problem, muckers. Ah, for fuck's sake. Now, the old truck's done 212,000 miles, so I'm not going to moan too much. But here's the thing, I'd actually replaced the old drive shaft, the full prop shaft and centre bearing back in November, so it hasn't done that much, and say for the centre bearing to fail so quickly ain't great, but that's something we're going to have to sort out. Anyway, muckers, in the meantime, roll the titles. It's -2 degrees this morning, muckers. Although she's been inside, it is still bloody cold, so we'll see how she goes. What a treat. Right, muckers, one thing I wanted to mention, which I didn't last week, I thought I'll do it this week, just because some of you probably don't know, is one of the things about these John Deeres, these like the 40s and the 50 series, there's the front axle, the four-wheel drive ones, and what was unique about them in the day is they had what they called a 12-degree caster angle. Now, I don't know if you can see, but that wheel appears to be not only turned, but leant over. Now, it's not a trick of the light or a deflection in a camera lens or anything like that, it is actually leant over slightly, and here's how. If you look at that axle, and we're right above that now, muckers, look, there we go, so we're right above it, and that bit turns, look. And because that's turned, it allows the wheel to lay back a little bit. So that wheel's laid over, and that helps for tighter turning. The one thing it does hinder you in slightly is when you're going wider with tyres, you can imagine by that, but if you're wider down here, it's digging in and rubbing on that bottom corner all the while when you're tight turning. And if you want to put duals on, I mean, I've seen it and it can be done, but you have to be very, very careful, because I say the wider you are, you're actually then starting to put pressure on there because it's digging in this side. But for, as I said, for actual just tight turning, it's a really good idea. And that's one of the reasons I like the slightly narrower, you know, the taller and narrower front wheels on these, because it does help with that caster angle. But there we are, muckers. John Deere with the 12-degree caster angle. Now, one of the things I get asked is, you know, why do I always use Tanvic tyres when I'm doing a tyre video? Well, that started back when we did the Michelin road bib video, and Tanvic were the ones that were doing the changeover. And since then, we've built up a really good relationship and rapport. And that's what I like, you know. Now, Pete at Tanvic, who does all the commercial stuff, you know, the trucks, tractors, and, you know, earth-moving machinery. If I ring Pete and say, Pete, I want a price on this, that, and the other, he gets back to me. That's a rare thing these days. You know, because a lot of the time we'll call you back, and they never do. Pete always gets back to me. And, yeah, as I said, you build up a good working relationship with somebody, And that's what I've done with Tanvic tyres. And we even use them now for like all cars and trucks and stuff like that. We always use Tanvic for that very reason. Oh, and the other reason is this. Because obviously I then get Dan and his lovely hair. Right, Dan. So, today, I had the wheel swapped around last week on this, and you come here to put the tyres on, these 28s.
Yeah, put some slightly wider.
Yeah. I think it'll look alright, won't it?
Yeah, look better. There's better tyres than what was already on.
Yeah, I think they've done the time. I'm trying to remember if these, looking at them, they may even have been the originals.
I think they even might be older than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
1990?
I'm slightly older than.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Slightly older. Right, Dan, first off, you've just got me to pull this forward a little bit. Why is that?
Because of the valve. It's got a tube in it. We're putting the tube back in.
Yep.
The right size tube, what we've got on the back of my van.
Yep.
Because when you put in the your second bead on, the valve's in the way and you end up ripping the tube off the valve.
Right.
So you'll just put it down where you're going to finish. When you put in the last bit of your tyre, you want the valve just there.
And I know these aren't huge, but they're bigger than a car tyre. So, like a car tyre, why aren't you taking these wheels off the machine?
It's more awkward with a bit of loose wheel.
Right.
Because you've got to lay it down or stand it up.
Right, so we've jacked it up, and now we're going to block it so it's safe and can't move. And now you've just let all the air out, Dan.
Yep.
So we can now, once it's blocked, we can start getting the tyre off. I ain't been off for a few years.
A bit rusty there.
Alright. So what, you're now going to just get your way into it?
Yeah, well, you've got different ways. You can get the hammer and chisel, go a lever at it. I'll go the easier way. A couple of levers, get your press in, straight in.
And there's your press. That's a bit of kit. Saves a lot of banging and knocking about.
Lifesaver, that is.
So that's gone into that gap there then, Dan,
yeah.
Right? And that bit, so what stops that just coming away then?
Well, this pulls up, clamps, and it pulls these feet in.
Oh, and it uses it, get the rim against it
yeah.
to push it off?
Yeah, it grabs it and you got your ram just to push the tyre off.
Easy as that.
Yep.
What are you doing that for, Dan?
Just to make the job a bit more easier. It's bead lube watered down.
Some lube?
Yeah, proper bead lube.
Bead lube.
Bead lube.
Alright.
It just makes the job a bit more easy.
Just gets it so it all sort of slides off.
Yeah,
over. It doesn't, there's no friction there as such then, and it doesn't grab and... Yeah.
But, always just make sure that you wipe the water off before you put a new tyre on, because then it stops it rusting more.
Okay. Somebody else should remember that, I think, about 20, 30 years ago. Now, I've seen a lot of people down, obviously you want to get the job done, so they'll go down there next or down, and then you're just taking little chunks.
Yeah, just take little chunks. Because you can go like this.
So you've sort of gone along, yeah, and now you've got to try and stretch all that over the rim. So if you just nibble at it.
Yeah, what I mean, you come a couple of inches away from it, and just straight in.
Yeah. Because there's not a lot of pressure there, is there? No. Yet here, that's like you're where it's really tight and stretched in. Yeah. You got to get it up and over all this, haven't you? Whereas you just nibble at it, just work your way around.
Take little bites.
Little bites. Easy as that. Now you've got a tube in this one, so you obviously got to get the tube out before you pull the tyre right off.
Well, I've got to get the tube stuck from the rim first.
Has it all welded itself on there?
It's all stuck to the rim.
Oh yeah. Mind you, we've had worse, Dan. I'm thinking of a TW10.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, though, it just absolutely rusted to the rim. Right, tube out.
That's tube out.
So same again, little bites?
Little bites. Well, everybody's got their own way of doing it. You can use smaller levers, a face lever, but here's a bigger lever, we've got a bit more leverage.
Yep. Yeah. So that's just like a tyre soap, is it?
Yeah, it's just your tyre soap, put it on, use it, set the rim up.
Just makes the job a lot easier.
A bit more easy.
Yeah.
The job's hard enough already, so you just try and make it a bit more easy for yourself.
And just give her a little shove just to get her on, yeah?
Yeah, just give it a little shove. Get the first bead on.
Yeah.
So there's a number of ways. There's no mud guard there.
Right.
So it's that way. Get the lever in there.
I see, pull it on as almost.
Yeah, pull it on.
Yeah. Right, so that's so you pull them on, and if you had a mud guard on there, what would you do?
Well, you just go back from the inside and just do it.
Right, you can just do it there, can you?
Yeah, just levering it on from the inside.
Again, small little bites.
Yeah, small little bites.
Oh, so you get the tube in now.
And the valve lined up.
Valve down the bottom there, lined up. That'll become apparent as well again now why it's down the bottom. You will come paint my hallway this weekend, do you?
I'm no Picasso.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard you're a bit of an artist, Dan. I thought it was Picasso. They actually said it might have been something different. Oh no, what's that, Dan?
It's two sayings: G clamp or wedge.
Right. And what does that do?
Well, it's just the slots. Gives the rim like that. It just holds a tie there for you.
Oh, I see. So you're not constantly having that flapping out as you try to fight it round.
It's like
that's there. That's your starting point.
Your third hand.
Right. I see. Yeah.
Your third hand.
Yeah. Oh, right. So start at the top there. Now this is where, Dan, being on the machine, the weight of the tyre now is helping you, isn't it? Because once you got it up on top, she'll sit in that well there.
Yeah, well, with the extra soap there, it should slip down nice and easy now.
Yeah, and then just hang.
Yeah.
So again, you got your clamp there, your third hand as such.
Yeah.
And then the weight of the tyre just hangs. But I mean, not so much on a small one, but on a bigger tyre, Dan.
Yeah.
And you know, it really does help the weight of the tyre, doesn't it?
It does. I'm taking the valve core out just to get some more wind in there a bit quicker.
Oh, I see. So you ain't got such a restriction. You get it in quickly and...
It's direct into it now.
Oh, I see. Yep, yep. Oh, you soon had that in there. Like lightning. Yep. They're done all right. Right, Dan. Well, there we go. Got these on at last. Thanks ever so much for doing that.
Yeah, it's not
and also, I think you lot will agree as well. Thank you, Dan, for just talking us through how you do something which a lot of people just take for granted. Well, new tyres on, new tyres off. That's great. You come along and do it, but they don't understand what's actually involved.
There's always techniques to it, and there's a little trick. Oh, we'll do it this way, do it that way. But take your time, little bites, soap it up.
Yeah. That's it. Just make your job easier, then everything else goes easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But as I say, it's just the little tricks like you say. Using that clamp.
Yeah.
You know, I did like that press, and that's a...
Yeah, lifesaver. We all like them.
Yeah. But, no, brilliant stuff. So, thanks once again to Dan and the boys at Tanvik. And, yeah, no doubt we'll be seeing you again soon.
Yep.
Because we've got some other bits to do. But there we are. So... Orange, it looks alright, Muckers. Right, Muckers. Now, in last week's video, I asked you all what tractor you thought should be in a museum, you know, in its pride of place to show its contribution to agriculture and the development of farming. And nearly everybody said the little grey Fergie, and I just thought, oh, fucking no. But you can't deny it, can you? I mean, look, this little thing here, you know, I mean, it was simple. The 3-point linkage that they came up with, you know, with their draft system and whatever, the Ferguson system, it did make a huge contribution to you know, farming. So we're going to see some more of this very soon. But the first thing we're going to have to do to this in the next few weeks is do the fuel system. Or to be more to the point, you've got to do the fuel system because
you're a fair weather worker.
No, because it needs doing. We've had other things to do. So
is that the excuse?
it's not an excuse. I've got all the parts. We just got to put them on. Well, you've got to put them on. You wanted them. You can put them on. Right, muckers. This week's question. Now, people have been asking me, are there going to be any more T-shirts in the Lord Muck shop? Now, yeah, there will be. We're working on some designs now for another run of limited edition ones. But somebody else asked me, are we going to have like just a generic Lord Muck T-shirt? You know, just for the followers, for the fans, the old muckers. So yeah, we're going to do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to have it with the Lord Muck logo. You know, the one with the character and the dog. But we need a slogan, muckers. We need a slogan on it. You'll keep it short and snappy though. All right, nothing too long, just keep it short and snappy, but it's obviously got to be relevant to the channel and the stuff we all do. So what should that be? What slogan are we going to have on the Lord Muck t-shirt? Over to you, muckers. Put your answers in the old squit pit below in the old comment section. And whoever we draw out, and whoever slogan we use, they'll have one of the first t-shirts off the production run. So, is it that time again? Apparently so, muckers. So, until the next one. Do well.